Hello everyone, it's Al here from All Kinds of Fur, Confessions of a Bearded Lady. I just got home from work and my first laser appointment is in less than 2 hours. First of all, I wanted to thank everyone who has expressed their excitement for this vlog. That makes me feel a little better about putting myself out there like this. I also wanted to let everyone watching know that I am taking questions to the laser technician. So if you have anything you've always wanted to ask about laser but were afraid to, leave it in the comments below or anonymously on my blog, and I will take it to the laser technician. I mean, we've got to have something to talk about while she tortures me. Now I have to figure out how to use this EMLA. It's a topical anesthetic. Here in Canada, it's available without prescription, but it is behind the counter. This stuff was around 8 years ago when I did laser for the first time, but for some reason I ended up with something called Maxilene. I can't remember how much Maxilene was, but this 30-gram tube right here is over $50. Cream is for use on healthy unbroken skin, blah blah blah. Apply a thick layer of cream. Cover with an airtight dressing, leave on for at least 1 hour. Okay. Now, the main thing that was better about Maxilene was that you didn't have to cover it with any plastic, and you could only leave it on for about half an hour. But mind you, I think by the time I got to the laser clinic, it was already wearing off by the time I got there. So this is going to be extremely glamorous. I'm just using the webcam to judge where to put it. This has got to be like $5 right here. And I have a few up here, which I hope she can find because they are hard to see against my freckles. You might not be able to tell in the webcam, but I am very freckled, being of British descent. Let's see, what else was I supposed to talk about while I was doing this? Okay. So Maxilene is 5% lidocaine, whereas EMLA is 2.5% lidocaine and 2.5% prilocaine. Now, the main difference that I can see is just that this is going to be a real pain in the butt, but it will also make the numbness last longer than the Maxilene did, so I'll let you know for sure when I come back. I have changed my shaving routine this week just to accommodate the appointment. At the rate of speed that my hair grows, 24 hours is usually a good benchmark. If I shave more than 24 hours, I feel like the hair is a lot more noticeable. If I shave less than 24 hours, you will find a lot more irritation on my skin. I don't know, is that even thick enough? I don't think it's thick enough. Oh, ditching $5 more. So, for the past week, I have actually been shaving last thing at night before I go to bed, which is pretty counterintuitive because my smoothest hours after shaving, I'm now unconscious instead of braving the world outside. So, okay. I think I've got it all. I'm just going to go check in the mirror. That looks pretty good. So, just to make sure that the hair is a lot more visible to the technician, I'm basically just giving it a little extra time to grow, but not 24 hours, so it's just the 5 o'clock shadow that I'm having to go out with every day, which has been giving me some low morale along with the anxiety of the appointment, but what can you do? If this works, it's going to be worth it. So now, I bet the glad men never thought of this use. Okay, this is probably going to be really awkward. It's going to look like I'm suffocating myself. Oh no, this sticks pretty well. I thought I was going to have to like tie it in a bow over my head. Okay, so this is supposed to ensure maximum penetration. Okay. See you in an hour. I'm gonna eat. It's tingly. I've forgotten how weird this feels. You can feel the pressure of touch, but like you can't feel hot or cold or like scraping or nothing. And it's pretty cool. So, well, that didn't hurt as much as I thought. That's probably partly because the emla made my face even more numb after I'd washed it off, and partly because I just don't have as many really coarse dark hairs like I used to. I like this emla stuff even if it is a pain. It definitely lasted longer than the Maxilene, so that's good to know. Part of this redness is just from the ice. It's not all from the laser. I don't know if you can see. It's just irritated. It's like a sunburn. And it wasn't until the laser technician got to my chin, like right around in here, that I started to get that sharp sting going down into each hair shaft. It kind of felt like individual needles, and that's what I remember from last time. Now, it was either the laser or my hair, which is kind of a disturbing thought. It was giving off this popping sound when it was hitting the really good ones. And as usual, there was that smell of burning hair, which I can still like, it's like it's caught in my nostrils. Now, the type of laser that they're using now is called the Alex. I don't know much about it, so I'm going to look into it a little bit because I'm kind of curious. It covers a slightly larger area than the light shear diode laser that they had last time, and the tip isn't pressed into the skin, so you can just sweep that thing over your skin with a little rapid fire pew 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 pew, and it's done in no time. It also has a lovely new feature that blows cold air over your skin as it is zapping you, so after you get that little elastic flick against your skin, it immediately soothes it with the cold air. That's really nice. I like the technician. She was very experienced and really fast. I was done in less than half an hour, which is way faster than last time. I barely had time to be nervous, so even though I expected to get a little lightheaded and maybe even faint, because that's what I'm hardwired to do, I can't help it, I felt fine. I was up and out of there right away. She seemed quite concerned about some of the irritation that was already in my skin. Part of that was just the redness from the emla, and part of it was just from shaving. But she kept asking about it even after I'd written it off as, oh, it's just what happens when I shave. So it started to trouble me as well. But it didn't affect the appointment. She still went through with everything. She just said that I should put polysporin on it at night just to prevent infection. She also told me something very interesting. She said that redheads may find less success with laser hair removal, and that's because the laser itself is in the red spectrum. So when you use it on red pigmented hair, it doesn't bring as much damage into the hair follicle. Apparently, they did a study on a pair of redheaded twins, and they found that one twin responded very well to laser hair removal treatment and the other did not. So I guess it's just kind of a crapshoot if you're a redhead. Now, other than that, not a lot changed in the overall process. The technician just cleans the area with an alcohol solution that smells very much like any immunization clinic ever, which is gross. I hate that smell. And then she puts these tanning bed goggles over your eyes. Now, she had to take my glasses off. Obviously, I don't always wear glasses. You can wear contacts. That's totally safe. And then she squeezes the ultrasonic gel on your skin, which is pretty much the same stuff that you get when you have an ultrasound. But because you're numb, you don't get that shock of cold, like when they squeeze it onto your belly. So that's kind of nice. And that just helps absorb some of the excess heat from the laser. And then you hear the laser machine kind of whir to life, and off you go. Now, one new thing was that they got me to sign a waiver. I don't recall having to do that last time. Most of it just covers acknowledging that you were given instructions to use your SPF 30 or higher to inform the technician if you're prone to cold sores. But it also says that you acknowledge that the laser will most likely bring a reduction but not perfection. And I thought that was really interesting because I still think of laser hair removal as being billed as, the permanent solution for any unwanted hair, which is kind of unfair. It gives a lot of unrealistic expectations to women who go in there, maybe without realizing that they have an underlying hormonal problem. So I definitely think it's good that they're letting women know that right out of the gate. But that was new. So now I just have to endure a next day or two of kind of a sunburn feeling. I get to use aloe vera on this as well. That should help. And then just wait for my next appointment in 5 weeks and try not to pluck during that time. I have to remember that. I do have one question at this time. It was asked on my blog. Aru wanted to know, and I hope I pronounced that right. Aru wanted to know why I'm not opting for electrolysis. Basically, I've picked laser hair removal over electrolysis for 2 reasons. One is that laser is a faster process. The laser covers an area of about 1.2 centimeters, 12 millimeters, so that's from about there to there. So it'll cover that much at a time, which is quite a few hair follicles. Whereas in electrolysis, they can only treat one hair at a time. It's very long and painstaking. Not only is laser faster, but I'm a very squeamish person, and I think electrolysis would bother me a lot more than laser does. Now, a secondary reason is that I feel confident in the principle behind laser hair removal. I got to see follicles shed, literally whole dark hairs coming out all over my washcloth, and then they stayed out all summer. And even though they grew back, that was quite an influential experience for me. I definitely need to know if it would work any better now that I'm on medication. It would be like a chapter of my life that would never be closed otherwise. So laser first, but I would definitely be open to electrolysis if laser did not work. The one good thing about electrolysis is that it is a lot more promising for people who want to treat lighter hairs or people with darker toned skin. So it does have its merits compared to laser. So it's not something that I would discount completely. So I think that's it for this time. If you have any questions, anything I've not covered, anything you'd like me to ask the laser technician, please leave it in the comments, or you can comment anonymously on my blog as well if you prefer. I am going to go back to icing my chin, and I will see you in 5 weeks unless something really interesting happens that would require another vlog update. Thank you.